In this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about the layout of the homestead and the fencing of the land. Overall, the plot is 10,800 square meters, which is 1.8 hectares or about 2.6 acres. When we bought the place, there was no fencing anywhere, and because of the dogs, we needed to at least fence the section before we moved in. So we decided to divide the plot into 3 sections: the middle house section, the upper forest section, and the lower section. At the time, we were living in a rental and it was about a 2-hour drive away, so we hired a firm to fence the middle house section so we could move in as soon as possible. Next, to save money, I fenced the lower section of the land by myself, and it took me around 5 days to complete. That included digging the holes for 60 posts, pounding and concreting them in position, and attaching and tensioning around 210 meters of fencing. For better fencing tension, I placed the poles 3 to 4 meters apart with extra poles on the corners, as there the fence pulls in both directions and extra bracing support is needed. So far, all the posts are still solid and the fence is still tensioned well, so all good. So when I was fencing the perimeter, I put this flexi fence in because at the time we needed access to the neighbour's land. So now we don't need that anymore. So what I'm going to be doing is shutting it up. So I'll be putting a post here in the middle and then putting new fencing on either side to join it up. So the principle will be the same. So I'll get to show you basically what I did when I was doing the whole perimeter, but I didn't film any of that. So here we go. So now the pole's in, just got to wait a couple of days, let the concrete go off, and then I can put the fencing up. So the pole is all set, the concrete has gone off, so ready to fence. I've laid out what I need. So you've got the fencing, I've got the post pounder, which will help hold down the fencing as I unravel it. And then these 2 pieces of wood with these bolts in it, these will be clamped to the fence so I can tension it. Then you've got some staple nails for the fencing and obviously a hammer, some wire cutters and stuff to tighten up the bolts, and 2 sets of ratchets and the cables. And that is pretty much all you need. Next step is to remove this flexi gate. Using the pole pounder to hold down the fence, you want to leave a little bit of wire overhanging so you can attach it to the post. It's good to cut back around 2 sections, 2 squares. So you've got 2 squares worth of wires that you can wrap around the pole. That should be ample. When you're attaching the fencing, always make sure that the bigger squares are at the top and the lower squares at the bottom. This way, if you have any animals, they're less likely to get their head stuck. Next, you want to put some E-shaped nails in just to make it extra secure when you're tensioning. Using the post pounder again to hold down the fencing. When you cut the other end, you want to leave about 2 sections again beyond where the pole is, so you can strip them back to wrap around the pole. Next, you want to get your clamping wood, and the idea is to undo the bolts and then you sandwich it between the wood, and this will be your anchor point that you can do the tensioning from. Next step is to attach the ratchets. Next, you want to attach 2 struts. This way, when you tension the fence, it will tension evenly at the top and the bottom, and you won't get any sag. Next, you want to tie off the ratchets, one to the bottom and one to the top of the nearest pole. So once you've secured your ratchet to the post, you want to bend it over so it's doubled up like that, and you want to make sure that this slot here is in the horizontal position. Then you want to get your strap and feed it through, and then bring it back on itself, and then pull in the slack. Then you want to pull the handle back and forward, and this will tension it up. So when you're happy with the tension, you want to get some nails and you want to secure the fence to the post. Then the same again for the middle post. A good idea is to, using your boot, pull the fence down as low as you can before you put the first nail in. Now you can take the tension off the ratchets. To do this, you pull this handle here, and then you pull it back and pull this handle in here, and then you give it a tug, and the cable will just pull out. Next, you want to strip back the wire. Another good little trick, if you see that the fence still needs some extra tensioning, is you get your pliers, put them in the middle of the square, hold them down, and then you put them towards you like a quarter turn. And then this will tension up any slack remaining. So that's it, the fence is done. So although this example was only a short distance between the two poles, it's exactly the same procedure if you were going to do larger sections like the ones over here. So what I found is, as long as the angle didn't change between the posts and it was a straight line, it could be 5, 10, 15, 20 meters of tensioning in one go, which would save a lot of time. And then you just repeat the procedure over and over. So I hope this video has helped anyone who hasn't done fencing before, and please like and subscribe, and see you next time. Bye.